last few games. I don't understand the reason why he's batted so low in the batting order. He had come out there with shot. He's the designated opener. Perhaps things could have been different for the Lumbini Lions. I don't like this chopping and changing in the batting lineup.
Fully agree with that. I think if you're going to, Sundeep Pure is international, and he's a quality international that Stuart Law has in his first choice team 2011 for the nation. He's opened the batting in the first 3 games. Now he's down at 7. If it's opening the batting or 3 or 4, it's not that big a difference, but 2 completely different skill sets needed at the start of the innings as opposed to the end.
Yes, and when you have such good players, you want the best players to have the majority of the overs. You don't want him to come in at number 7 and just play out the 20 overs. Now what they're doing between over 17 and 20 is that they're just scraping the barrel, and whatever they collect from there will be their total. At one stage they looked that they would get to that score of 170 comfortably, and now they'll be crawling to about 150.
Going to change the angle here, come around the wicket chair. Remember, Mala played nicely, didn't he? Hit those 3 sixes consecutively. Just tells the tale of the Lions season. Lots of batters, top 4, all getting good starts. Nobody making more than the 35. Rowan Powell going to come over the wicket instead. Mala slices that one away. He gets a good piece of it. He's been impressive all-round skills this season, Chair Mala, and he starts with a boundary.
Once again, Chair Mala, we saw him getting runs. We saw him hitting 3 consecutive sixes in the last game. Why would he be batting at number 8? I would like him to come up the order and control the innings. And plays away when you have a game like this. That's the problem. That's the reason why I always believe that you need to start winning matches early in the T20 tournament. When you start your campaign losing a couple of games, then panic sets in, and then you hit that self-destruct button.
Yeah, of course, they just haven't won many games in the history. Won last season, won this season so far. Got him. That's the right angle. Cramps him for room. And it's the top of the leg stump that's been hit. And more than a word or 2 from Scotty Cuggleline. He's not happy. This NPL, plenty of contentious moments, and they continue.
Well, he's got the man, so there's no need for that little bit of lip service. But just take a look at Scotty Cuggleline here. If we can get the batsman passing him a word or 2, a little send off there. But Sher Mala gone for 4, now in deep trouble. Are the Lions at 129 for 7.
Here's a globe-trotting cricketer with a great background story, Thomas Strachan. We'll almost certainly see him involved in the Italian squad for the T20 World Cup. They're in the same group as if I'll remember come February. Born to a Croatian father and an Italian mother. In Sydney, Australia, played his cricket at Banks Grove there and moved on to Sydney University and impressed so much with his team bowling that Jason Gillespie signed him up for a South Australia full-time contract. Didn't play much for the Redbacks down in Adelaide. By his own admission, he does no more than have a bit of a slog towards the end. He'll have 12 balls to work with alongside Jordan. He will come on to strike for the first time. It's a good comeback this from Scott Cuggleline.
Certainly, no fast bowler likes to be carted over a point for a boundary. And then he gets the man and geez, there's a send-off. More than a couple of words. I can't lip read, but I can well imagine what those words would have been. Andrew, do you want to interpret it in Irish, in your Irish accent?
I promise you there are words I recognise there, but will not say. I will say no more. That is Scotty, yeah, wasn't happy, was he? It looks good kill. Thomas Draka, just does enough. If Irie was at cover, that might have been a different tale. First Nepal Premier League run for him. Kevin O'Brien, who's a great friend of mine, the assistant coach of Italy, he's talking a lot about Thomas Draka, and he says he's a proper cricketer, he's got a good strong action, gets a hint of shape, doesn't really know how to tie his own shoelaces, the problem.
Well, I've heard, come to the wicket and say good afternoon, good morning to the umpire and be Christmas at the wicket. But if you make him tie a shoelace, how does that end?
He's just going to give you any shade, isn't he? Joke, of course. What can Jura do here? Right out of the screws, but it's gone up rather than long, and it's going to fall nowhere. He got a good piece of that, but it just went to the moon. This pitch is slow. That's why the batters are not finding their timing. Well, it is the real SUV. It's the Omoda and Jaku J5EV. It's what we ride each day to work, and the hazards are working. It's a really comfortable, very, very nice car, fully electric. Edged away, and going to be four. Third man up in the circle, races to the rope.
First boundary in his NPL career, Thomas Draka. Just can't set a field to that. There's absolutely no clue where it went. It's just hoping. And rewarded there was Thomas Draka. Now they move on to 136. Well, the Lions, they really looked good to get that 170. 46 dot deliveries in the inning so far. That's a huge percentage.
Just no timing is there at all for the players coming fresh to the pitch. And I think the Lions need to learn from what the Royals bowlers have done well. Have to take the pace off. The most perplexing aspect of the innings, though, for me, Harmeet Singh has only bowled 3 overs. Is he going to bowl the 20th and final?
Perhaps he will, but at 137 for 7, I think the S'PASHIM Royals will consider this a well below par score and easily chaseable score.
Tries to get this one out of the screws, but again, it's gone nowhere. Should be taken, and Kugeline holds on and stays in. Doesn't look the happiest man right now, Scott Kugeline. I don't know quite what is grinding him, but if looks could kill, finally a smile now. Thank you, Scotty. Come on, we play cricket for fun, for joy. Barra has his third.
Well, yes, he's bowled really well. I mixed it up like you did mention very correctly. The pace off the ball is the way to go. And Scotty Kugeline, he's bowled well, he's caught well, plenty of glee on the face of the bowler, perhaps feeling vindicated, telling the skipper, Sandeep Jora has gone for 7 of 7. Many Lions, 137 for 8.
Oh, the cameraman.
It's all going S'PASHIM's way yet again. Tilak Raj Bandari will come to the crease. I thought he bowled beautifully in the last game, but you'll have to provide some support to Draka, and it is going to be Harmeet Singh to bowl the 20th and final. They're not going to go to Hemant Dami. He'll have been over unused. Aaron Save only used for the 1 over today, so it'll be Harmeet Singh alongside Lamachani, the tournament's most economical bowler, here at the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by Encel. It's season 2, season 3, and we're loving every second of it here in Kathmandu. What a season it's been already. Where's the close games though? Draka goes downtown. Does he get enough? That's all. He catches it. Sounds like a left hand too. All too easy for the Royals.
Certainly all too easy for the Royals. Now coming apart are the Lumbini Lions, a very weak surrender with the bat, delivering it well here. the return crease or the bowling crease, I beg your pardon, and there it is, Irie taking that catch nice and comfortably. Thomas Draka, his debut ends for 6, 137-9.
Abhishek Johnson to the crease immediately. 19 international reverse sweeps for 4. What's he doing there? The number 11 says he, as Harmeet Singh has been close to untouchable. Is nicely played away for a boundary. Important runs.
Certainly important runs. If he can get a couple more, then they will have something to pull at with the Lumbini Lions. We saw how the Virat Kings lost their way yesterday against the Rhinos. Could be that same situation here as well.
It's been a remarkable collapse, isn't it? 119 for 3. That was just as we came on air. Since then, 6 wickets for 24 runs. Collapso stuff from the Lions, who just continue some of their bad habits from season 1. Couple more runs for the total. This was dismissal. He was never going to get it all the way for 6, and Irie too good.
क्या बोला
It's going to fall into no man's land, I think. Oh, it's going to carry. It's Irie again. Left hand throw again. A run out. 2 catches. And the 3-dimensional cricketer is at it again. And for Harmeet Singh, it's a 9th wicket of the campaign. He joins Lamachani on top of the wicket takers table. He's been untouchable, unplayable.
Well, there's Irie everywhere, isn't it? Just take a look at that. He's coming at least into the 30-yard circle. He's run at least about 35 to 40 yards and taken it so comfortably. That's the class of the man. That's the speed of the man. That's the anticipation of the man. And that's why he's called the Tiger. That's the final wicket, final nail in the coffin for the Lumbini Lions. Harmeet Singh picking up his 3rd wicket. He's been amongst the wickets in this 2nd season of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by NSL.
Tell you something, turning into a player of the tournament contender, maybe the favourite for the player of the tournament, the way he's going with bat and ball, joint leading wicket taken out. He gets to 9. Yet again, Rohit Paul is top scored for the Lumbini Lions, and yet again, apart from his 35, there wasn't much to cheer. Starts at the top for Short in the new opener, Maharjan, 31 for Dilnath. The rest, nothing to speak of. Crazy batting, to be frank, in the final 5 overs, and a complete another collapse sparked by that run out of Trumpleman. We should have known better than to take on defender Singh Irie. Spoke about how they started well with 50 runs in power play. Basil, what went wrong from there?
Well, they played the in between overs really well, 7 to 15, 65 for 2. That is when the skipper Patel and Nath were in the middle, and all of a sudden the departure of the skipper just sent shockwaves through the batting lineup for the Lions. Just 28 runs and 7 wickets they lost in those last 5 overs. Take a look at this. 3 wickets for Harmeet Singh, 3 for 22. He's 9 wickets in the tournament. 3 for Avinash Bohara. He bowled particularly well. And Hemant Dami, I'm very impressed with this young man, Hemant Dami. He's got the ability to bring the ball back into the right and genuinely 2 for 28 for him. And Scotty Cooper, 4 overs, 28 and 1 wicket, restricting them to a very gettable 143.
Well, we've got Jess Crow down pitch side, and with her is one of the nicest men you'll ever meet. Down to Jess, who's with Avanesh Bahar.
That's right, I'm joined here mid-innings by Avanesh Bahara. Avanesh, 2 for 18 for yourself. You must be pretty happy with that performance.
Yeah, so good on my side. Good.
Excellent. And are you performed consistently every match so far, taking at least the one wicket. How have you found the conditions out there?
Actually, I'm a bit older specialist, so I know the wicket and everything, so it's good for me.
And not every time I've spoken to your team, I've said the same thing, that you always seem to find a way to win. I'm not speaking too soon today, but what's been your team strategy overall, do you think?
Sorry?
What's been your team strategy overall to have that success?
Yes, I see. Maybe 140 score. Maybe good for my team, so yeah, I'm a bit over, so it's good for me.
Great stuff. And now your team got off to a good start with the ball. Did that fill with some confidence? Because of course you came in at the 16th over, having those foundations already set.
Yeah, actually, the batsman, I know the Rohit and like Jora, I work on like so and Yorker, so
Excellent. Are you confident chasing the score?
yeah, of course.
Great stuff. That's all the confidence you need, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, thank you very much. All the best for the team.
Always does and looked good and in control of the innings. Army team struck. Come in front, not anything. That's big blows. He played better today than he has, but this was a massive moment. You felt as though he could take advantage of that drop catch. But shortly after, looking to use the pace of the ball as he does so well, there was no pace to work with. He was dismissed. Big wicket. That one of doubly Nave as well.
This is when they started going down, and this was a plain fade moment for Buffalo, running into a defensive scenario, perhaps the best field in the world, and they just fell apart. Lucky there, Sher Malla, but to the line, just a few words exchanged, and then it was just catching practice. That was Scotty to the line. There was Dora getting out there and defending Singh. How easy does he make catching and fielding? Look, with the final wicket to fall, Abhishek defending Singh for I mean, to give him his third wicket for 22. 143 is what they could muster the Lumbini Lions.
Cannot believe how easily defender Singh got to that last ball. He's come in 35 yards. The blink of an eye, two catches and a run out for him. He'll get you in one way or the other. Will the Tiger. And for the Lions, well, they're going to have to bowl and field really well because we don't feel this pitch is playing too badly. The target's 144. Can the Royals make it 4 from 4 and break the streak? First, 200 miles. Reaction in just a few moments.
पुरै खाली छ कि त्यहाँ के अरे सिटहरू त त्यो सोल्ड आउट भन्दैन अनि सिटहरू खाली जान्छ चाहिँ कहाँ मान्छे पुरै खाली छ थुप्रो यस्तै छ हाम्रो चाहिँ अब छागे दिएको चाहिँ छ है कति छ 140 वटा आएको छ सुदुले सक्छ या सक्दैन त्यो चाहिँ अहिले थाहा हुन्छ भने के हुन्छ यहाँ सुधुरले के गर्छ त हाम्रो लुम्बिनी लायन्सले भने 41 रनको टार्गेट दिएर सिधा रन गरिसकेको छ भन्न नमिल्ने अब भने कि खामहरू सुरुवात हुनेछ त्यसपछि भव्य ब्रेक टाइम भनौँ न त्यसपछि फेरि खेल सुरु हुनेछ लगट्टै पक्कै ढल्छ डरेन मेकेबेरी डेरेम हजुर गेरेम गर्न पर्ने हुन्छ हैन
Welcome back to the Tribhuvan University ground here in this beautiful city of Kathmandu. It's match number 13 in the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by NPL. The Lumbini Lions taking on the S'PASHIM Royals. The S'PASHIM Royals winning the toss, putting the Lumbini Lions into battle, going well until Darcy's shot created Harakari for himself and for the team. 18 of 11. Sumit Mahajan scratched around for his 18, but it was that man Roy Patel. 35 of 36, and his partnership of 50 odd with Dilip Nath. That he looked at one stage that the Lions would get more than 165, but then there was a complete drop in the batting, limiting that score to 143 in 19.4 overs. He really bowled well. Harmeet Singh in particular, 3 for 22 of his 3.4 overs. Hemant Dhami bowled with a lot of heart and a lot of pen, and 2 for 28. Avinash Buhara, 3 for 26 for him, and Scotty Kudalan picking up a wicket early in the piece, 1 for 28 of his 4 overs. It's always important to see how batsmen fare in the tournament. Let's take a look at this. Ravi Bopara at the top of the tree, marked what, 147. Roy Podell has climbed into third spot at 134. That's the Residential Graduate School Platinum Cap leaderboard, showcasing some of the most talented batsmen, not only in Nepal, but all over the world as well. Ravi Bopara certainly deserves that Platinum Cap. Seen the top runs scorer. Let's just take a look at the most wickets. Sandeep Lamachani and Harmeet Singh share that top spot of the Agar Khan Cement Golden Cap leaderboard. Milind Kumar, Avinash Buhara and Marsham Dilang on 7 early days in the tournament. I'm sure there'll be a lot of jostling for spots on that leaderboard, but certainly 2 of the best up there at the top of the tree. Well, it's just about 1:30 and we're waiting for the players to come onto the park on a nice sunny afternoon here in Kathmandu. Lovely outfield, a lovely ground, great conditions, the Chopara Hills in the background, the players waiting to come out, and I can't wait to introduce HD. Welcome to the show, HD. To our sorry, Faisal, I was just interrupted by a member of our staff just tapping me on the shoulder saying lunch is ready, but I'm not. Well, we've got to be on air, so thank you for the reminder. But I'll be there in a second. Yeah, look, 143 I don't think was enough. They were well on track to get around 160, which I think would have been very, very challenging in these circumstances, with the surface being a little bit on the slow side. And again, we have to understand that the pitches are going to deteriorate, and with that deterioration, they're going to get slower, because we're playing on 3 pitches. We played on 3 pitches over the course of the first 2 weeks. Very difficult for the curator to get moisture in them, because we play the games come thick and fast. So it's understandable. The players need to adjust. It just seems as though they are aiming a little bit too high when batting first. But they've got the runs on the board, and they're just going to have to bowl extremely well to defend this against a cracking team, the Royals. Well, you just got it absolutely spot on. I was about to mention the pitches are going to be the way they are, and you just have to live with it. It's going to be slow, perhaps get a little low as the tournament goes on, because the sun is melting down on the pitches. Not too much moisture that the curator could add to as the games get over late in the evening. So it's just one of those situations where the teams will have to deal with it. But I did get the feeling that, like you did mention, that they tried for 180, maybe a little bit more. They should have gone for that 140. Perhaps they would have ended at 160, 165. But now Josh Brown, 44 matches, 151. His strike rate, a best score of 140, will do a lot of damage up front in those first 6 overs. It's very critical that those first 6 overs are exploited well, simply because there's a lacquer on the ball and there's a shine that will help the ball come onto the bat. Once the ball gets scruffed up, that's when it gets stuck in the pitch and becomes difficult for stroke play. The other opener, Vinod Bandari, just 107 is strike rate. If he's going to strike at 107 coming and opening the innings, he'll have to see the team right through till the very end. You can't play slow and then get out and leave the hard work and the heavy lifting to the batsman to follow. How about that man on your screen, Ruben Trumpelman? He will be bowling with some heat for sure. For 21, very good economy of 7.85. The umpire and the players set for this run chase for the S'PASHIM Royals. 144 is what they need. We have Josh Brown on strike, and Trumpelman will be in operation from the far end. The Lumbini Lions versus the S'PASHIM Royals. It's match number 13, the run chase. Just a little loose now. This is the opportunity for the batsman to get some runs early. Slow wicket, quick wicket, spinning wicket. Brown will play in one manner. He will look to find boundaries. He will look to give the Royals the quickest possible start that they can. And if he can't, then he'll leave it up to the others to work it out. But he will try and make a dent in the score very, very, very quickly. That's his job. He's done it on one prior occasion, not failed on 2. So if you are a believer of the law of averages, he should come good today. It's such a difficult role to play, because you fail so much more than you succeed, because you play such a high risk game. But when you come off, inevitably your team wins, which is what happened with Brown. He was player of the match as well. Nicely struck. The gap will be a 4. Really good strike this by the big man Josh Brown. That's also the NSL Super 4 and the 264 fours for the tournament. Yeah, no swing. So with the ball going across the right-hander, he will deem that as width, and we'll just get through the line. Encouraging to see Brown getting onto that front foot. You don't want to get caught in the crease here with the ball keeping a little bit on the low side. The other thing is, every time a batsman is looking to hit the ball really hard, there's no timing. When he looks to time the ball like that, it looks so nice, so elegant, and so effective. Another boundary, back-to-back boundaries for Josh Brown. Just a little flick of the wrists to get it up and over that inner ring. It's a good stroke. Risk coming into play, just a single. He's got a duck in the first game, 68 in the second, duck in the third, so he's going to get runs for sure. It's definitely going to get runs this afternoon. So you're nice and positive. You like that sort of talk. The real test for Brown comes when pace comes off the ball. Opening the batting in Australia in big dash. It's always big, fast and nasties to open the bowling. Very seldom do that. They bring spinners on early. He likes the ball coming onto the bat. End of the first over. This is S'PASHIM Royals chasing 144 on 9 for 9. There they are. So the S'PASHIM Royals 3 play, 3 win, very healthy net run rate. The Tiger Kings have lost that game. Their first loss last evening. They stay on 6. Chipwood Rhinos looking good with Ravi Bopara in prime form. They're more on third spot, and the Kathmandu Gorkhas, by virtue of that win, have moved to 4th. So all to play for here for the Lumbini Lions. Spin as expected. Abhishek got them from the country box, and he'll be bowling to the big hitting Josh Brown with a slip in place. That's a good length. That's the perfect length to Brown. If you try and get it up underneath his nose, he will hit you down the ground. So your length needs to be spot on here.
White ball.
Wide, just a hint of turn. It's just the line that was alright. The length was fine. The two fielders at long off and deep mid wicket. We're still inside the power play. Shot. There is a fielder there. Straight.
Nice catch.
That's good captaincy, good bowling, and a really smart catch. The big Josh Brown will be heading to the dugout for a nice early shot. Should have done better with this. I think it was dragged down. A real long hop, but he's just lobbed it in the air and said, catch that. So pace off again. Works a treat against the big Australian round. He goes for 9 and 10. Chris Lynn, 300 matches, 8,500 runs, 144 strike rate, 56 50, 600, and a best of 113 not out. The perfect man for the job as far as the S'PASHIM Royals are concerned. Josh Brown, so much was expected from him. Should have really hit that ball perhaps into those Chandragiri hills. Spoon the catch to mid-on, mid-wicket. There was a little bit of bounce and a lot of turn. Yeah, this was short. Excuse me, I thought we were going to get the dismissal there. Well, that's a beautiful delivery. That's the right length. Trying to bring him forward, but not too full. Moving around in the trees. He's playing mind of Abhishek. Let's take a look at why Christian's out there in the middle. This one was a drag down. He's just lobbed it in there. There was no real force behind the stroke. Lucky he didn't do too much damage to himself. Shermala coming in with the arm. He's hit the perfect length. Abhishek giving that width outside the off stump that Chris Lynn is looking for. He's not bowling up to him. Last catch taken by Shermala. End of a successful over, just the run and the wicket in it. So the S'PASHIM Royals are 10 for 1. It is the Sudhaka Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by NSEL. So the S'PASHIM Royals facing a modest 143 across their big man, Josh Brown, very cheaply for 9. Chris Lynn, perhaps Lynn, their linchpin out there in the middle. They can get him out early. Certainly they will have them starting around. Shermala took that smart catch, comes on to bowl from the far end. Just a single over for Trumpman. Slogged, fetched it from outside the off stump and hit it straight to mid-on. Well, that's the wicket of Brown. Take a look at this. Shermala takes the catch, back paddles, and just hits his head on the ground. Lucky. That's a good hit. Bounce and over those boundary cushions. That's good batting this by Binod. Last for another bat. 262 boundaries for the tournament. A good area. Mid-on up inside that circle. Didn't find the middle of the bat, but you've only got to find off the bat to get it over mid-on. Just needs to drag it back a touch. Shermala. With Trumpman bowled. Could they have just given him another over? There's been some wonderful catches taken over the course of this tournament. Erasmus, the Namibian captain. This is the pick of them. Will Basisto had to turn and run and then the full dive. As in the outfield and then the little one-hander diving to the right. Shermala. Just keep coming, don't they? Back live. We'll get a boundary. Bandari seems to be saying you will shot to me and I'll pick you every day of the week. Because of the slowness of the pitch, if you do get your length wrong either side, you really get punished, because if you're too short it just sits up and says, hit me. And if you're too full, you go down the ground to the big scoring area here at the TU. So you need to be spot on, and if you are, you will reap the rewards. That's the length he's talking about. You're most uncomfortable with the ball there. The width of the stumps makes it even more uncomfortable. 4 men on the offside, saving the one. Nicely picked. One bounce over the ropes. She goes in open. Nari is not messing around, and he's not wasting any time. With risk inside the power play, there's just 2 fielders allowed outside that 30-yard circle. If you can get it up and over the inner ring, there's not many men patrolling that boundary. Good start here for Bandari. 43 against the Avengers. Got the opportunity today. Being negated by the umpire. 3 done, 22 for 1. So the Pashchim Royals 22 for 1 in 3. They need 144. Chris Lynn yet to get off the mark. Second over for Abhishesh Gautam. He's picked up 1 wicket to fall. Get a little closer to that off stump. Length is good. Just don't err in the line. Don't give him anything shorter than that. There's no protection out there on the offside. Giving himself some room. Let him make the mistakes. I think this is a really good bowler. He's mixing it up well. He bowls one that he tries to spin out hard, and then the other, he bowls a little arm ball that just slides on. All at sea, between 6s and 7s is Chris Lynn. He's played 7 deliveries. He's yet to open his account. Absolutely no clue playing that sweep shot. Playing it more in hope than in anything else. Very, very good length. This time he gets it. And he's got enough to get the boundary. Breaking the shackles here is Lynn. Gets the boundary that he was so much after. Lynn feels as though he might have got away with this. Again, right off the toe end of the bat. But falls safely. There's just the one man on the leg side on the boundary, the other one at deep middle. Oh, he's put it down. That was tough, but at this level should be taken. The skipper there, guilty party. Oh geez, by his own standards should be a very easy catch. Turn again. Good over this. Should have had his man. 4 down, 26 for 1. Festival of the Himalayas, the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League Season 2. We are at this beautiful venue, the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Ground. Match number 13 as Crumpleman comes back from the far end, the southern end of the ground. None for 9 of his first over. Could he get Vinod Bandari? Take a single. That's good running. Struck the ball and run. Fielding has been decent. The catching has been really wanting. We're going to find out very soon how costly this drop catch is from the skipper paddle, because Lynn is now on strike, and with Trumpelman running in, this is the type of pace that Lynn wants. So you reckon that they're playing into the hands of Chris Lynn, giving pace to Chris Lynn, not the smartest thing to do. Let's wait, watch. There it is. Just smashes that one. Lucky for him, or unluckily for him, he went straight to the fielder. Long gone and deep square leg, the two fielders out. So anything outside that off stump with a little bit of width is going to go for runs. There are 3 fielders inside the circle of the offside. Oh, that's beautifully struck. There is a fielder, but he just wants to sail over his head. Is it that really clean? 181 big ones for the tournament. Ouch. Road paddle might have made 2 errors in the last few balls. One, putting the catch down, and the other providing Lynn with a delivery where he could find a Siddhartha Bank maximum. We've been saying time and again that the pace off the ball is the way to go. There's enough pace on this pitch for Chris Lynn to enjoy himself. There he goes again. That's gone all the way as well. Back-to-back 6s for Chris Lynn. Now he'll be feeling a lot better. His strike rate is now 123. It was really low, but now it's going up slowly but surely. He won't stop here. He might provide another opportunity for the Lions, but if he doesn't, it'll be an early finish.